Good morning. It's time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell of Grow with KLO. I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. Thank you to Just Orthodontics for sponsoring our show today.
Cheers.
Kristin, oh, I'm toasting the wrong way. Cheers.
Cheers.
We'll get this figured out. How's it going this morning?
It's going great. My kids got out of the house on time for school. We've got a new sponsor I'm so excited about. Thank you, Justin. I have a hot coffee. I would say the only thing that is less than ideal this morning is that it almost feels like night today. Like it's so cloudy and gray.
Yeah,
I thought so too. Very weird today.
Hi, Mary. I agree. It actually sort of messed with my ability to wake up. Like when my alarm went off, I'm like, I don't think it's the time my alarm thinks it is. But lo and behold, here we are. And guess what? We have a special guest today. So, you guys, you're watching Coffee with Kristin and Tina, and we are going to have join us Carrie Karbon. So let's welcome Carrie Karbon to the show. Hi, Carrie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so Carrie, you're a registered dietitian.
Yes, I am.
What's a registered dietitian? I'm not sure I know.
Well, a registered dietitian is not the same thing as a nutritionist. I know that word gets thrown around a lot. In Wisconsin, the word nutritionist isn't a protected word. So anyone can call themselves a nutritionist, whether they took a 6-week course on nutrition, and not that they don't learn some things about nutrition. They probably learn some valuable information, but a registered dietitian has to go to school for about 4 or 5 years. And then once you have that bachelor's degree in nutritional sciences, you have to do an internship that's about a year long. And then you're eligible to sit for the registration exam. And once you pass that exam, you can then apply for your state license. And in Wisconsin, we're certified dietitians. Although that's changing. I think in 2024, dietitians will need master's degrees. So I just made the grandfathered in on that one. But
wow, so. I had no idea. I had no idea there was so much education involved and, work that went into it.
Yep.
So what does a dietitian do? Like, what does that mean?
So a registered dietitian can do lots of different things, and it probably depends on what setting they're working in. And I've probably done most of them. Dietitians can work in large food service operations like school food service or hospital food service. So that's just making sure that the food meets certain requirements, either set by the government in a school food service setting or in a hospital. If a patient's in the hospital and they need a carbohydrate controlled diet or a low fiber diet, if they're having digestive problems. Perhaps they need a low sodium diet. Maybe they're in the hospital for heart failure or something like that. So a dietitian in that setting would make sure that the food they're getting meets those requirements. Dietitians can work in long-term care settings, and I did that for a while. We would be monitoring a patient's weight, so they're not losing weight unintentionally or become malnourished in the hospital or a clinic setting. We might formulate alternate ways to feed a person. So if you can't eat, we might be giving you IV nutrition, what we call TPN, or enteral nutrition, so feeding a person directly into their guts. Other times it's outpatient settings. It would be providing a lot of education for a patient for either diabetes or hypertension, obesity, maybe for a digestive problem. I'm working in an outpatient setting right now, and one of my jobs is to monitor patients' blood work and then to reinforce diet changes based on that. Education is probably my favorite thing to do. I love teaching patients about nutrition, kind of debunking things you might see on TikTok or lots of other, there's just a lot out there in terms of like what influencers are putting out there. I think, and take the source as you will, I think CNBC said that in the United States, there was like $71 billion spent on the diet industry in 2021. I mean, that's a lot. And are we getting healthier as a country? Not sure.
Not
So something
Wow.
isn't working.
Carrie, I had no idea. Actually, thank you for providing that background. You're doing such important work, and I really had no idea that that's what being a dietitian meant. So, thank you for making me smarter. Kristen and I love learning new stuff.
I do.
So,
It's like career day.
No, Carrie, do you have a myth that you would love to bust right now about food, like a common question or something that people come and maybe have been misled about?
Does eating sugar give you diabetes? No,
Okay.
not really.
How about eating fake sugars? Does that give you diabetes?
No.
Okay. You heard it first, friends, right here from Carrie.
I mean, things are never black and white. I think there's always maybe a little bit of truth in a lot of things, but it's not the whole picture. There's a lot more that goes into things. Um, like I'm failing to think of a really great example, but if something isn't working, it's likely not just one thing causing it, right? There's a bunch of things that go into it. So it isn't as straightforward as it seems.
right, yeah, multiple factors influence it. So, Carrie,
Yeah.
how did you find your path? How did you find your passion? How did you know to pursue becoming a dietitian? And I can obviously tell that you're passionate about it and knowledgeable about it and really good at what you do. But like considering I didn't even know what it was, how did you come to this? How did you know? Was there like a moment certain? Did something happen in your life or did you see something? How did you get to where you are?
Well, I've been a dietitian for 10 years, so it wasn't the first thing I've done. I've done a lot of different things. I kind of feel like everything is just building to something that's yet to happen, actually, is kind of what I think. Um, but when I first went to school, I went to school for exercise science, and I was a fitness instructor. I shouldn't say was, I am a fitness instructor. I was a personal trainer. I fell in love with exercise very young. I grew up on a farm, hard work just kind of seems like it's in my bones or something. But I love exercise. It makes me feel so good on the inside, on the outside. So that was my first career choice. I love teaching exercise classes. It's probably my favorite, hands down thing to do. But what I realized when I started doing that was what goes into your body is as important as what you're putting out. And so I went back to school and I finished all of the requirements needed to be a dietitian. And that's kind of what led me here. I think ultimately, although I've been working in healthcare for the last 10 years, my ultimate goal is to like utilize that exercise and nutrition pieces and put them together in more of like a preventive role. So, keeping people healthy with using those two things together.
What's your favorite class to teach, Carrie?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I have a lot. I love them all.
Tell us a
Right
little bit
now.
what you all teach. So, Carrie, you're an instructor at the Y, correct?
Yep. So right now I'm teaching 4 classes. I teach it's called Group Ride. It's a indoor cycling class. I teach Group Power, and that is a barbell weightlifting class. And without muscles, ladies, we need muscles. Okay, cardio isn't going to do it for you. I mean, it's very important, but you got to have muscles. I teach I teach bar, which is super fun to teach, and then I've been teaching Group Fight, which is like a mixed martial arts class.
Awesome.
And Carrie, so you must be conscientious about what you eat. Do you have like a go-to food that you feel the best about? And then do you have any guilty pleasures that you indulge in?
Oh boy, they're coming out now. Okay. So I know people think that I know people think that dietitians don't eat anything bad, and that in fact, I remember when I was doing my internship, one of my preceptors said that RD stands for rigid and dull, and I disagree. Yes, we I don't know. To me, eating comes kind of natural. Like yes, fruits and vegetables are healthy. I eat them. If I have the choice over eating lettuce over chocolate, I mean, come on, right? Chocolate, okay. But I would say that my go-to thing is anything with peanut butter. So maybe like an apple and peanut butter. I like dates and peanut butter together, celery and peanut butter, rice cakes and peanut butter, half a peanut butter sandwich.
What about peanut butter cups with peanut butter? Is that okay?
That would be my guilty pleasure, would be peanut butter and chocolate. Although I do not eat peanut butter and fruit together. Well, I shouldn't say that. Apples. I don't eat chocolate and fruit together. It's just not my jam. I'm more of a sweet and salty person. Like I want peanut butter and then like chocolate or something.
I love it.
Yeah. Is there something that you find that people frequently eat because they think that it's healthful for them, but
Hummus.
really it's not?
Well, okay. Hummus can be healthy, but I just don't like it. Some people like it.
I don't like it either. I've tried to make myself like it. Like,
I
this
have
is a
too.
healthy dip. I can't do it. I don't like it.
I can't either. I sometimes still eat it. My husband likes it, so I do sometimes buy it, and I'll try it, but it just isn't. So something that people think is healthy, and it is really not. Um, well, I think that anything that's kind of made into like, I know keto right now is a very popular way of eating. Um, So they make lots of keto products like keto cookies, keto bread, and keto um, anything in a bar or a box that's keto. And I'm not sure that those are necessarily healthy things or loaded with saturated fats in a lot of cases. So I would say maybe that's a good example.
Yeah. I just want to say, viewers, if you're watching and if you have a question about something that you eat or something that you like or any kind of question for Carrie, feel free to drop it in the chat and we will ask her about it. Do you have any feelings about some of the different like fad diets or trends that people embrace? Is there success with some of those? Are there some that are better than others? Are there any you would stay away from?
Yeah, I guess I'm just not a diet person. I don't follow a diet necessarily. I think they can be helpful for some people because it sets like a guideline, like, so I can only have these foods, which that can be good and bad. I've seen people go on diets and then they go off of them. For today, I'm going off my diet today, or I'm going off my diet for the holiday. I'm going to get back on my diet. Well, I think just healthy eating in moderation, that's kind of what that is, right? So yes, sometimes we have a little more, and then other times we're like, oh, I'm gonna be a little bit better today. But I think diets can just be sort of like um, a way of restricting yourself. So like if I said, oh, I'm gonna follow a low carb diet, for example, and that helps you stay away from sugary foods, like maybe that can be helpful. But how far do you take it? Does it to the point where now we're just on a roller coaster? We're on, we're off, we're on, we're off, we're on, we're off. So I just tend to, not follow any specific diet. Is it okay to eat carbs as well? Oh, yes. Yes.
Mary, that's a resounding yes. It's okay to eat carbs as long as you don't go overboard. And I think you hit the nail on the head here too, Mary. She said portioning is the key.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the amount we eat of anything is absolutely important. So, and I think that's part of our problem in this country is that um, we live in a land of abundance. Like food is all around us, right? We go to the store and we want potato chips. Like who doesn't like potato chips? I actually know a few people that don't like chips. I like potato chips, but when you buy them, they come in these ginormous bags, right? And what's the serving? I actually have one. I might bring it to the summit. I'm not sure. They've been in the bag for a very long time. I've used them for multiple presentations. But I hold up this little sandwich bag of the 12 chips, right? This is a serving of chips. It's like 12 or 14. It's very small. So you look at the nutrition facts, right, for these chips, and you see, and I'm just throwing some numbers out there, but it might be 120 calories, maybe 10, 12 grams of fat. maybe 15 grams of carb, right? Probably 1 gram of protein. There's not a lot there. Salt, there's going to be some salt there. But who eats 12 out of like a large bag?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then especially if you're going to, like, when I go to Walmart, for example, if I'm buying cereal, sometimes it's hard to find a cereal you're looking for in a reasonable size box. They're humongous, family size, upsize, value size, right? Because it's a good value. So we buy these big portions. And that just entices us to eat more. You know, there actually are studies on this, which I find fascinating, about eating and portion size. If the portion size is large, we're going to eat more. It's just, you know, it's not like we're flawed. That's just like our human nature. So you can eat cookies, you can eat chips, you can have chocolate, you can have all those things, but we can't eat a supersized bag of it, or it is going to affect our health. So,
Gosh,
there is
Carrie,
nothing
so
I
good
won't
to
tell.
know.
There is nothing I would never tell anybody not to eat necessarily. We know that certain things are not good for us, and some things we learned late, like trans fats, for example. Like, we know those aren't good for us, even in the smallest amounts, as those can contribute to heart disease. Saturated fats, right? There's arguments about that, but I think generally, if I'm living in a world of evidence-based practice, that's the world that I live in. I'm looking at research. What does it tell us? We can have some, we can't eat too much of it. So by limiting the portion, I think we can eat what we want, and we can enjoy good foods and bad foods. And even that portion size, you can look at that in terms of like vegetables, right? We need, like, what, 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day? 5. A serving is like a half a cup. It's like, it's not that much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people get this impression that dietitian is going to make me eat so many fruits and vegetables. Like, well, I don't know. If you look at it like that, that's not that much, right? We can do that.
We can do that. We can do that. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
we can
just
do
want to let
that.
viewers know this picture, that is Carrie on the far left side, and she's going to be part of the Women's Summit, which is coming up on Saturday, February 25th. I'm so looking forward to this event. I think it's going to be really cool to learn more. There is a question, though, before we talk about the summit. Sally says, what's one encouragement you might have for starting a fitness routine?
I would say you just have to start. You have to start. You have to. So, as humans, we are going to do things that are easy for us. And I tell my patients this all the time. If you're starting to make changes in a positive way, whether it's your eating or your exercise, you have to start small and start with things that you like so that you keep doing it. And when you go to these extremes, like, I'm not doing anything, then I'm going to go to Carrie's group fight class. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go every week, but you're kind of sore after the first time. And does that make you want to go back again? I don't know, right? Like, so you got to ease into things, do it slow. Even if it's just getting your shoes on every day. Like, my first goal is to put my tennis shoes on every day and walk for 1 minute. Like, I can do 1 minute. The perception of how long it's going to take me, it's not very long. So we have to start to establish habits that we can do over and over again. Because if I have to think about putting my shoes on and doing this for an hour when I could be on the couch watching my favorite television show or reading my favorite book or whatever it is, right? That just seems like a lot. And I'm probably not going to do that for very long, because that willpower, that muscle, it's not very reliable. It's reliable at first when we're real motivated, but as motivation starts to kind of wear off, right, then we stop doing it because it was too much for us. So we have to start small, find something that you like to do, and try to be consistent with it.
Yeah, I just saw a great post yesterday that said, don't set an expectation that you're going to do like 5 days a week in the beginning. It's not realistic. Start with 2 and just do
Mm-hmm.
that. And do that until it becomes a habit where you don't have to think
Yep.
about it.
When
I
you
thought,
don't have to think about it.
yeah, super
Yep.
smart. I can remember the beginning of my fitness journey. I started with yoga and water aerobics with the older ladies, the mentor ladies at the Y. Because like that was all I was physically capable of doing, but I knew that I could do it. So
Yep.
figure
And
out, find
look where you are now, right? It's a
right.
habit.
Yep, absolutely.
You guys are both so inspiring. I love it. Carrie, I'm blown away and I've learned so much, and I'm excited because you're going to be part of the Women's Summit, where everyone that is there is going to have an opportunity to hear more from you and to learn more about this important topic. What should we tell people about the Women's Summit, ladies?
Well, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. So, Carrie, you're going to be talking about mindful eating. Tell
Mhm.
us a little bit, just give us the high level bullet points of what you're going to be speaking about.
So mindful eating isn't like a diet. Like you don't go on a mindful eating diet. It's just a way that we approach our food. And so no matter what way you like to eat, I think we can use this, right? It's just the way we think about, am I hungry for this food? Or am I just eating it because I like it or I want it? Or how much am I going to eat of this food? Am I still hungry or am I eating it because I just like it? Um, am I eating because I'm bored or happy, right? We eat because we're happy, sad. You could probably insert any emotion or setting there that you want. How do we deal with living in this world of abundance? And when we go to a restaurant, we get the portions of for three people.
And do you guys ever get influenced by other people around you eating? Like, I find that sometimes I'm not even thinking about food, but hearing somebody crunch some chips or like they're eating, I'm like, oh, me too, And I'm like, dang it. Like I was influenced by the factors around me when really my head didn't even need to be in that space.
Or the smell, like, or just the sight of it. I mean, at work, if you're ever at work and maybe you just ate lunch and then you go into the break room and someone brought like donuts in, like, am I even hungry for a donut or am I just going to eat it because I want it? Or your kids leave stuff on their plate. Well, I should just eat that so I don't have to throw it away, right? Or it's not enough to save. I'm just going to eat it.
Yes.
Popcorn is another one. Apparently the smell, right? Like you smell popcorn,
Oh,
somebody's making it and you
uh-huh.
can't help but be hungry.
I call that
Okay,
head
so
hunger.
there's a name for it.
Well, that's what I'm calling it.
I love it. I love it. Carrie, this is exciting. So, the Women's Summit, you're going to be there. Becky Richards, Lori Crawford, Kristin Odell, Becky Hoffman. I'll be there. Viewers, you can be there too. It is Saturday, February 25th. It is from 9 a.m., 3 p.m. It's at the beautiful Wisconsin Maritime Museum. We're going to be talking about all of these, important things for you individually and how we can connect on a broader level. Because there's some networking, I just have to throw up this graphic. This graphic made me laugh thinking about the summit. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And here's Inigo's guide to networking success. Polite greeting, name, relevant personal link, and manage expectations.
Gina, I really appreciated your accent. I was really hoping you were going to go for it, and you did. You made my whole day.
Jazz hands.
One of the things that's come up is the schedule is coming out this week, the agenda for our whole day. And, people always want to know about food. So, Carrie, you reviewed the menu options available. Grow It Forward is catering for us. It'd be amazing. Carrie, can you tell a little bit about what options you've chosen for the buffet lunch?
Yeah, I tried to choose something I think everybody is going to like. And then we have the components of a healthy diet, right? We've got vegetables, there'll be a salad buffet, there'll be some kind of protein to put on the salad. There'll be sandwiches, there'll be um, a vegetarian salad, there'll be or sandwich, there'll be a vegan option, and then a meat option, and then there's going to be a soup. So there'll be, I believe, a vegan option there too, gluten-free option, if you can't have a sandwich or for some reason. So we tried to kind of get a little something for everybody. Yeah, hit
And,
all the food groups.
and you included the other very important food group, which is dessert.
Desserts, yeah, desserts. Yeah,
At
there'll
least
be
we're
some cookies and bars. Yeah.
That's right. I don't know about you guys, but I always feel like at least one moment in the day, I need just a little something.
Hmm.
It does change the day. When you guys have a dessert, I know some people eat it first. I know some people, and sometimes it's me, I'll eat it as I'm eating the other stuff, or some people, of course, just wait until the very end. How do you dessert?
Well, for me personally, it is my reward for eating the vegetables and the fruits or whatever else needs to come before it. So that is how that is how
The
me
end.
The
yeah,
end.
it's at the
The
end
end.
because I'm celebrating the fact that I've put the proteins and the fruits and the veggies ahead of it.
Hmm. I think at the end too, and maybe as snacks.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
Maybe the end just keeps going.
yeah, during the day, I tend to, like, grab a serving of dark chocolate covered almonds, like, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is, like, from what I'm understanding, pretty significant time of the day where a lot of people reach for something, but
Hmm.
I just need that little injection of
Yeah,
sweet
it
and
it sounds like that almost has everything, right? You've got fats and proteins that are going to keep you feeling fuller longer because if you just ate some candy, you're probably just going to be hungry again soon. Like if we're paying attention to our actual like feeling of hunger and not just like wanting something to eat. And then
mhm.
you have a little something sweet to satisfy your craving. So I approve.
Gee, thank you.
Jason said, "Eat dessert first. That way you have room for it."
Yeah. Maybe we should eat dessert as the appetizer.
I don't
But
know.
I think, Kira, you said something really important. You said, "Pay attention," right? That's probably the most important thing we could do as individuals, right? Is to pay attention to
Yeah,
what we're
I think
eating, but
we
how it
ignore
makes
our
us feel.
yeah, we just ignore our hunger. Like we don't listen to it maybe if it's telling us we're hungry and we should eat, and then we ignore it when it's telling us we should stop eating, right? So we just need to like kind of like look in the inside a little bit and have that connection, right? Pay attention to it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, speaking of desserts, a couple of shows ago, Kristen and I were talking about fortunes, and we got some like strange fortunes. Kristen, you even had one that was spelled wrong. Well, yesterday I opened a fortune cookie, and it actually was good. And it says, "A long-term goal will soon be achieved." And I felt like as soon as I saw that, it made me think of the Women's Summit. So then I thought, we're talking about desserts. I have a fortune cookie here. Let's just open it really quick and see like what our fortune is today.
I love
And
it.
while
I used to do that with tea bags. Like whatever the tea bag said, that was going to be like my motto for the day.
I love it.
Okay, so let's see what our motto for the day is. Ta-da! All right. Ta-da! All right, here's what it says. You guys, this is perfect. It says, "You will always be surrounded by true friends."
Oh,
Aw.
I love that.
I don't know if you can read it, but yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
You know, one of the things I thought about this morning, Lori and I attended a coaching conference together in fall. And when we left that, we had talked about getting local coaches together. And at that point, I think we were thinking more like career coaching and personal coaching and like, how do we bring accredited coaches together? And we had started kind of swirling around an idea of getting women together. And then Becky just popped up with this amazing thing. And I don't know that we necessarily thought about having coaches from all these amazing different industries and not just coaches but like accredited, educated, amazing women, and look what came together. It's so cool.
I have to say, like, as we were planning this event, I have been extremely impressed with how connected, like when we got together the other day, you guys were, oh, I know this person and I know that person, and it's like I other than teaching my classes at the Y, I've mostly worked out of town. I've had to commute to either Green Bay or Sheboygan, and so connecting with the community has been something I don't know that I've really had the chance to do. And so listening to you guys hear how connected you are, I think that's just amazing. And I'm just looking forward to doing that too.
Yeah, and I mean to validate that, we have started pulling things in, giveaways, raffles, goodie bags, and our local businesses are like stepping up and being like, yeah, we want to be part of it. Yeah, we want to sponsor it. So there's just going to be so many cool dynamics to this day. And to your point, it's all about the community.
Yeah, and it's all about
Great.
connecting. And before we started planning this, Carrie, I didn't know you, and now we've connected, and I love it. And I'm so happy, and I feel like my life is richer for having that
Oh,
connection. And
wow.
it's so
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Actually, Kristen, my husband says hello. I guess you
I
two
love
know each other.
Yes, we've done work together at MPU. Yeah, and we've been opposing coaches on the softball diamonds,
Oh, ooh, it's a rough place to be.
especially when it's 8 and 9 and 10-year olds. It's
Yeah.
very competitive. But yes, I've always enjoyed working with Scott and Carrie. I have taken class with you at the Y in the past just a couple of times, but again, getting to know all of you in a deeper way and in a professional way and being just able to highlight your talents. It's so exciting. And Carrie, I'm so looking forward to your session at the summit.
At the summit, Saturday, February 25th. We'll put a link in the chat after we're done with the show so that you can register and sign up. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for
Thanks
sharing
for
your
having
knowledge,
me.
making us all smarter. This is awesome. We're really looking forward to seeing you more at the summit. Just want to close on this comment. Mary said, I feel blessed to have you and Kristin in my circle. Nice.
Very
Thanks,
cute.
Mary.
We love it.
Oh, and there it popped up again. Really blessed. I love it. All right. You have been watching Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Our special guest today was Carrie Karbon. Our show is sponsored by Just Orthodontics. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Coffee with Kristin and Tina.
Bye, guys.